Hello everyone, this is the LEGO Marvel, Captain Marvel and the Skrull attack set. It gets me every time. Marvel, Captain Marvel and the Skrull attack set. I swear, that's actually what it is. Check it out. LEGO Marvel, Captain Marvel and the Skrull attack. I didn't make it up. That's the proper name of the thing. Lots of funny naming stuff these days. Well, that's what it is, and most of what you pay for here is a rather enigmatic LEGO version of a Quinjet. Here's the thing, see, LEGO kind of spoiled us all with the release of one very large, well, relatively large Quinjet one time. And since then, they've not gone back to anything of that size, and it's very easy to compare anything since to the largest version that they made and say, well, this isn't good enough because it's too small and it's not complicated enough. It's not serious enough. This one has seating for exactly one person plus one animal. It's that small. Look at how small this cockpit is. I mean, it's tiny and it's really cramped even for that single figure that fits in there. You got a little sticker down there for a console. That's nice. But man, that's rough. In the back, they have a fold-down cargo ramp, but it's only 2 studs wide. That's suspicious. And the space inside, the actual cargo space, is only 2 studs wide. So there's not a whole lot that you can put in there. Fortunately, the set does come with a random kitty cat. Talk more about that a little bit later. But that can fit in there, and that's about it. Let me see if I can fit Nick Fury in there sideways. I'll take his gun off. I just want to see if this will work. If there's any way to get a second figure in there. Yes! Ha! Ha ha! I have defeated you, smallness. So you actually can fit 2 human beings in this set. I lied. But one of them has to be laying down and diagonally on his side. And unfortunately now he's stuck in there and won't come out. Don't try that. To be honest though, this isn't that small. And it's not that simple. There's a lot of complexity actually to the design of this, with building in many different directions and a lot of stickers, unfortunately, which are clear backed. The sticker sheet that I got was also fairly mangled in the package, which made attaching these carefully painful, annoying, but I like the end result. I like the look of this overall. And again, you have to keep in mind, as always, this is a toy. It says on the box it's for kids 7 and up. Kids even younger than that can own this. It's not designed as a collector market item. Collectors can appreciate it if they want to, but that's up to them. This is made for kids. And as a kid's toy, hey, when I was 7 or 8 or 9 or 10, I would have loved to have this. I probably would have modified it a good deal, opening up some stuff back here so that I could actually carry more stuff in it. I might have thought about figuring out a way to put a second seat in this area, even if a person had to stick up a little bit. But it just looks cool. The color scheme, the angles, all very, very good. As small as it technically is, and as little complexity as it has in its build compared to the best one, or best ones, it's looking pretty good to me as a toy. And it does have action features that actually work. This is the most interesting way to fire multiple flick-fire missiles, or actually to fire flick-fire missiles remotely, that I've ever seen. They use what do you call that? Like a storage bin, a closable container. It's been used as a mailbox in the past, just with no door on the front of it, mounted sideways, and they use that just to fit into a space to push against the tails of 4 flick-fire missiles. It works. It works pretty well. Gives you a nice big barrage, and these things have been around for a long time, but they're a lot easier to find, a lot harder to lose than the studs that have become the ammunition of choice most of the time. So if you only want to leave them in there for looks, you can. If you only want to load up one at a time so that you're able to shoot without having to track down 4 things at a time, you can just put one in there at a time. Still can be fired out. Of course, you can be more enthusiastic than that to actually get it to fire, or you can put all 4 in, or you can just leave them. You get some options there, and it seems to be a useful action feature that doesn't look too ugly and isn't too annoying to actually use. So what about Captain Marvel herself as a minifigure? I think this looks pretty good. It's definitely not one of the more sophisticated figures, given that it only has print on the torso, nothing for the arms, nothing for the hips or the legs, but it's not bad. I wish there was a little bit more in the way of printing for this. I think the star of a Marvel movie deserves more than one single print, or set of prints for one single piece. But as it is, for what it is, it looks pretty respectable, and she comes with 2 of those power blast pieces to represent energy emitting from her hands and arms. Another good action feature that plays well and looks good just on display if you just want to leave them there. And this head has 2 faces. That one, I don't know, we'll have to see from how they're doing her personality in universe if this is an appropriate face to be one of the main ones. That one is probably more useful, more useful for standard expression based on what we've seen so far. But I would have liked to see something a little bit more serious, an attacking, more angry kind of look instead of this smile, just personally. Nick Fury here looks pretty proper. I'm assuming that this is a flashback Nick Fury. You're taking us back in time. There are several portions of time, if not different realities, that are already shown in trailers as of the time of the recording of this video. I'm assuming this is just an earlier in our main MCU timeline version of Nick Fury, and I think it's good. I think this has everything that it needs, print-wise, and that alternate face is pretty proper as well. This is Talos, the Skrull, and I don't know anything about the Skrull myself, but I can't tell from research just what version of Talos this is supposed to represent, because what we've already seen for the movie with other merchandise and also in the trailers is that it doesn't look this comic. This looks more like an older comic book version of him to me. Then I don't recognize, again, from Googling, just being straight with you, I don't recognize the outfit. I don't know what that one is. So if anybody out there recognizes it immediately, please feel free to leave a comment. And if a bunch of people say the same thing, I'll just put it in the pinned comment and that'll be covered. I think it's a decent looking figure, but I'm just having trouble connecting this to the Captain Marvel movie based on what we've seen for the movie so far. And this is definitely a movie-derived set, so I don't quite get it. His head add-on piece works, I think. Would have been nice to get a little bit of print to continue some of the striation through the forehead. He's got a mini peg hole on the top, so you can put a little bow on top of him from a Lego Friends set or something. But it's just a little bit more print shown there, and that was hidden by that piece, and that's just that. Pretty simple. Last but not least, this is Goose, the cat. And it's just using that slightly more squarish mold, rectangularish mold that they introduced with the Lego movie, the first Lego movie. You got the stripes down the side, a little tuft in the front, stripes down the other side, and there's also a little bit of striping along the forehead of this one. This cat is going to be more than meets the eye. Hopefully we will see the reveal of what she's all about in the movie itself. I think that she'll kind of help tie a lot of the plot together, but that's a little bit of speculation, but I think it's going to all make sense. I'm surprised that they did not include any sort of restraints or even try to create some form of restraint, because the general idea in this set is that you're supposed to try to rescue the cat from Talos, Because the set is moderate in size and complexity, you don't have a lot in the way of spare pieces. This is just them. And if you do want to see the full assembly process for this, you can check out my build video, which is up on my new build channel. And you'll find the link directly to that at the end of this video when I'm done. And it'll also be in the pinned comment and a card on the side of the video. This is the type of set that could easily be quite overpriced. And it's not. Nah, it's priced pretty perfectly. The price to part ratio looks good. The price to volume of stuff ratio looks very good to me. I've seen plenty of things that I felt were okay in value at the $30 price point that were smaller in volume than this, for sure. And, the figures I think aren't great, but they're more than good enough. They're not bad. My biggest question is just with Talos himself and his accuracy or his appropriateness for the MCU. Beyond that, I think the set works. I think it works pretty well. The biggest thing that's missing here is the ability to properly seat a second figure, even if it requires something a little bit weird, sitting them sideways, having just kind of a hatch and a slot to have them sitting a little bit higher up. Would have been really useful to be able to get two figures into this, two actual minifigures, without having to turn poor Nick Fury sideways diagonally and jam him into this narrow space here where he then proceeds to get stuck. And should I have angled these winglets down the whole time? I'm sorry about that. They just looked really good up to me. I like that look. I've always liked that look. That's okay, but a little bit much. Turn them down. Without the actual main wing surfaces being angled also, with them being as thin as they are, that's not that great of a look to me. Go a little bit more subtle. That's okay. That works. I still like them better this way, but you have the range there, so you can make it accurate. You can make it however you want. That's it for my look at this set, though. Hope you enjoyed this. Check out the build video in the link, or via the link at the end of the video here if you want to, and I'll be talking to you again soon. I'll be bringing you more reviews, of course, and other stuff as well. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.